Do 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 do. Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Big John here, as you can see. So, good evening, Mark. Yes, James and Danny. Good evening, Danny. Merry Christmas to you as well, pal. If you see behind me there's 12 rare stones. Now, it's only in the last generation, 30, 40 years, that we of humans have made pure light. Pure light. And we do it by we do it through, let me just show you now, let me just get it up. So we put a filter up, right? So it's got lines like that, and we shine light through it, and you get better light here. We do a cross polarized one, which gives even more light. James C, it's not so much, you could say it's geology, but you'll get it so in a minute. So in this past generation, 30, 40 years, we made pure light. Laser's one of them. You all know this. And we never had this in the 1950s. Maybe the army might have done, but not as good. Now, when you shine cross-polarized light through gemstones, this is what happens to jasper. It's what happens to sapphire. They come out in these kind of colours. They find this out by cutting little bits of them. But you're never going to believe it. Them are the 12 stones that they're going to build New Jerusalem with. And in the Bible, it tells you them stones. Yet we've only just found out as man, how to make pure light. So who knew 2,000 years ago? Who knew 2,000 years ago? And they're called isotropic and anisotropic. And the ones behind me are anisotropic jewels. You put diamond out, you shine a light through diamond, nothing. It's just black. You shine pure light through any of these, and that's what comes out, pure colours and beautiful. These are stated in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, chapter 19. So if we were to believe that this Bible was written over 1,000 years ago, how did anybody know? How did anybody know? Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. How did anybody know? So isotropic and anisotropic jewels. And the 12 jewels are going to build New Jerusalem with, them are the ones behind me. And them are the ones that are anisotropic. Not diamonds, them emeralds in there. Amethyst and that. But these are, you can go and look at it. Revelation chapter 21, verse 19. And it talks about these stones. Not every Bible will have them written in what they are, but some Bibles do. How did anyone know that? Yes, Arlene. Arlene, anisotropic and isotropic jewels. Remember we talked about this, and that's what I just thought I'd mention that first thing. So I haven't got a guest on. We was trying to get Steve Laws, but he can't make it. But coming up in January, I've got the PCP girls on. Public Child Protection Wales. And they have run in elections, local elections, and they're taking the Welsh government to court over sex education in school. 12th of January, we've set it up for. That's when they're going to come on. Sorry if I just took my screen off. I was having a drink and eating my chips. So yeah, that's amazing fact for you if anyone's interested. If anyone's interested, that's amazing fact. And we've only just made this pure lie in the past generation. It hasn't been around for hundreds of years, just the last generation. And the book was written 2,000 years ago. So who would have known about all that except for God? I'm just saying, no one else would have done. But anyway, more, enough of that. So yeah, I just wanted to go through a couple of things. Ellie Williams' case is coming to a draw in Preston, and the way that people are going on about her, you know, I'll be bluntly, 90% of so-called patriots are just a load of wankers. They are, because instead of shouting and screaming angry at someone, shouldn't be looking at why Ellie got into that situation in the first place. Why these kids go around stabbing? It's no use. Just lock them all up. We've got to find out why. And these things have happened. And I'm not going to back down. Yeah, Ellie more than likely has lied. Did she do all them bruises and marks on her own body? No, I don't think so. How did she get behind on her back and things like that? There's a bite mark on one of her back of one of her shoulders. So somebody else must have been in it. A lot of the people in Barrow are just lefty scumbags. I'll tell you straight. Right, I'll tell anybody that. And you can come to my face, you can message me, you can phone me up, and I will tell you that. Right? What else do I know about Barrow? Now, just the other week, I met a couple of people from Barrow in Manchester who have been arrested and convicted of crimes that they didn't commit off the police. The police have treated them brutally. At the moment, they're trying to find a solicitor to take the police to court. And these are two vulnerable, very vulnerable people. So don't nobody tell me that the police in Barrow are doing the right thing. They are a load of crooks. We know that. Ask Ellie Reynolds. The police in Barrow are a load of crooks. They give out personal information to reporters, Amy Fenton. They're just a load of scumbags. I want to have some faith in the police, but how can I have faith in the police when they arrest and convict vulnerable people? I'm never going to let this rest. I'm not. And I'll be going up Barrow soon and doing some videos. So, take into account that, Ellie might not be the perfect daughter, but we just fuck her off and throw her in jail. Is that what we do? Is that what we do to people without trying to work out why she got like that and trying to help the girl? You know what I mean? That's what I would think that most people would do. And a lot of people who've commented on Ellie Williams' post, they've got a load of shit, horrible kids as well. So when your kid's in court and everyone's screaming at you, saying you're a bad mother or your kids are this, that, and the other, don't come running to me. Don't come running to me. I'll be listening and watching and looking, but don't come running to me for help after the way I've been treated from Barrow and stuff like that. Honestly, you just the police up there are a load of crooks. I'm sorry, guys. There's nothing else I can say. Two very vulnerable adults have been arrested and convicted on charges, a load of shit done to them off the police in Barrow, and they were innocent. These people are innocent. And I'm just not having it, me. I'm not having it. That's why I don't believe anything in the Ellie Williams case. I don't believe anything to do with the police. Remember, they took Ellie Reynolds, sent her to court for 2 years on blackmailing until it got thrown out in court. Honestly, just please see the black and white until we get the police force sorted out and people wised up. We're never, ever going to hear the last of this. We're never, ever going to hear the last of this. And I just think a lot of people who I thought were good patriots, you're just a load of lefty scumbags. I'll tell you right now, the kind of language I've seen coming off some people, and these are people who I've met and think are all right, but the language I've seen off them is unbelievable. And you know what? I don't want friends. I don't want to know people who are going to talk like that about people and stuff like that. I don't want them kind of friends, me. And I certainly don't troll people on Facebook or social media. I don't hide behind any mask or anything like that. Everyone, I'm an open book. I've told everyone, mine an open book. I've even said that I've been in trouble with the police. Didn't have to, but I have been. I didn't give details, but I have been in trouble with the police in the past. I'm an open book, me. I'm not a closed, idiotic, lefty, indoctrinated, thinking the right-wing patriot. I'm not none of that, mate. And I have got a good, really good sense. Those who go on social media trolling are just narcissists. If you can, and those who hide behind masks, you're just shithouses. None of that with me. None of that with me. And so it'd be very interesting when the case comes to fruition. I mean, I've seen some newspaper reports talking about that she was coerced or threatened. This is what I've seen in newspaper reports about her case, that she said that happened to her. I said that from the very beginning, mate. There's a good chance she could have been threatened or something like that. The overall thing, I think, in Ellie's case, she has done wrong. The police and the council are turning it, spinning it like she's the nasty person, when we know there is grooming going on in Cumbria. There's guys from Leeds been arrested in charges to do with child sexual exploitation in Barrow and Cumbria. Everyone seems to forget that. Other girls have pointed out certain shops that are still there who were claiming they were being victimised at the time when Ellie's case first come out. And these shops got closed down because they had illegal immigrants working in them. Honestly, I just can't believe half the people who are hearing me. I just can't believe. What kind of arts have you got that you can't understand what's happening to these girls and things like that? I mean, we can throw Ellie in jail, but that's not going to solve nothing. Then another girl will come out and do it. We need to look at the issues of why these people do these things and try and get it at an early stage. Obviously, I think it may be something to do with schooling, maybe something to do with her family. There's a few different reasons, but if we don't do that, we're just always going to end up with these girls doing this kind of stuff. And when we do get a girl who is telling the truth and people aren't going to believe her and they're just going to demonize her, honestly, I don't want any friends like that, me. I don't want any friends. I just don't want any friends who are just going to treat people, slag them off because they've lied and not deal with the issues that's why they're like that. We're never going to get on it. We're never going to get an handle on it. And the NHP UK, one of the things that me and Pat totally agree on is that we are going to tackle child sexual exploitation and rape gangs. I'm never going to not tackle them. It's one of the things that's important to me and it's important to Pat. And we're going to tackle these subjects as we grow bigger. When I'm a councillor, I'm going to be doing speeches on this in the council meetings. And what I can expect is everyone just putting their hands down or hiding under their hats. That's what they're going to do. because I'll be telling the truth, and I'll be telling the truth to the council and people of authority and police. So again, slag her off all you want, but if that's what you're going to do, just remember when your kid gets in trouble and they've done something bad, you're just going to let everyone slag them off and not deal with the issues. Honestly, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. You know, I've got more art in me than a lot of people to realise these things. That's why I don't troll people. That's why I don't hide behind a mask or anything like that. I'm a real person, and I always will be a real person. Right. Sorry about that. That's me, end of me little Ellie thing. But again, a trial's coming to close soon, and some of the comments I've seen of people who are grown adults, I just think that they shouldn't have kids. They shouldn't be involved in raising families if they're going to be like that with other people and other children. It's upsetting. It's upsetting to me, because if we don't get an handle on these kind of things, it's just always going to be there. And these girls there'll be girls who will be committing suicide and trying to kill themselves and all that. And we won't listen to them, even though they're telling the truth, because we haven't looked and delved into why they're being like that. Enough of that. Enough of that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good evening, Pat, Dave, Danny, thank you, Claire, Gwen Owen, Grim, Gwen Ion. Is that how I say it? Grim Gwen Ion. So yeah, the 12 stones are building a new Jerusalem. I don't know if you heard me, Pat. We've only just found, Pat, laser light. We've only just come up with laser light and pure. Oh, Peter Smith saying good evening, Peter. And these are the 12 stones, precious stones, that are going to build New Jerusalem, Pat. And we've only just discovered pure light, which makes these stones anisotropic. And when we tested them in this generation that we're in now, when we did shine lights, all these lit up with beautiful colours. They're all named in the Bible from 2,000 years ago, Pat. So who would have known? We didn't know, because we've only just got pure light in the past 30 years, which is laser. And what did I say? Cross-polarized light. Yeah, cross-polarized light. We've only just found that out in the past 30 years. Them have been in the Bible for 2,000 years. And all them are anisotropic jewels, which is pure light shines through, and that's what you get, the colours you get. But anyway, going on, obviously there's a lot of attacks on Britain and British history. And I haven't said nothing, but Lady Hussey, who was... so what with the woman, Niobe, whatever her name is, that's not a real name, Marlene Headley from Barbados, who claims she's got African heritage. She doesn't look nothing like any African I know. She looks West Indian, which is where her parents and probably her grandparents were born, of generations of a family. And then she set up Lady Hussey. This is going to get worse and worse with these kind of race baiters. She on purposely took a microphone in. She didn't have the right name on a tag. You know what I mean? And she's been made out to be a crook. But now, you white people, especially like the royals, are, sorry, we didn't mean to offend you. You didn't offend anyone, Lady Hussey. What you should have done is kick the bitch out, because she weren't even invited. She never had an official invite. She came as someone else's friend with a badge on, with a name that nobody knew. What you should have done is grabbed her by the collar like the bouncer does and chucked her out. That would have been better. That certainly would have been better. But these attacks are going to come off all sorts of people. Let me just get up. And what's wound me up is there's so many people who have got OBEs, CBEs, MBEs through the Queen, and these are the people who are slagging the Queen off, yet they accept the OBE. You can't believe the unbelievable hypocrisy of that. You know what I mean? The hypocrisy of it. I'll just get the link. I'll put the link to the article. But two of the people who said they're not going to play God Save the Queen have got CBEs or MBEs or OBEs or whatever. And, you know, like, nobody's saying anything. It's just a joke. It really is just a joke. This is why the Britain's going to be brought down by all these walkies and that. Now, a diversity orchestra has been accused of woke nonsense after refusing to play the national anthem. The Chineke Orchestra is full of musicians who are not from the UK, and many who are the direct result of ancestors being enslaved would not be playing the national anthem. Yet, Miss Nwankwo, who was given a CBE in the Queen's birthday honours earlier, you know, why have we got a diversity orchestra? Why have we got a diversity, just an all-black orchestra? I don't get it, me. If they're good enough to play their instruments, why don't they just go into another orchestra and stand alongside white people? You know, in England, we have to accept everyone, but they don't have to accept us. It's unbelievable, the hypocrisy of what we're living now. You know, I wish I could go back to the 90s, me. We didn't have any of this then. We didn't have any of this. We're inviting people into our country who absolutely just hate us with a passion for whatever reason. They're sucking us dry. We give people like this orchestra woman an MBE, then she won't play God Save the Queen. I cut her funding, me. She's had 3 million, guys, in funding of taxpayers' money. She won't play God Save the King. I'm not a fan of Charles. But, you know, God Save the King. That's if you did sing God Save the Queen, sing God Save the King. You know, we invite these people in, and diversity has pushed them all. They've got all this money. What, Marlene Headley, Sister Space, works with black women. She hasn't really done anything. Women have contacted her and she's fucked them off. She's absolutely rinsing the thing dry of money. Now, honestly, if that was a white person with a group called Sister Space for white women, and they did something with the books, they'd be on national news. But no one's saying nothing about this woman. Honestly, and you know, I get it, me. Violence against women, I get it. But let's be honest, violence against women, who does anyone hear any Jamaicans saying how violent the men are to the women in Jamaica? Can anyone tell me that? Nobody says anything. You won't hear Diane Abbott say anything. You won't hear any of our black peers saying anything. But men in Jamaica kill women all the time. Jamaicans are very anti-LGBT. They don't say nothing. I'm not saying all. Obviously, my dad was Jamaican. He weren't any of them things. He wasn't violent towards women. He never raised an hand against me mum or anything. He also he wasn't. He just didn't do LGBT. My dad. That's how I say it. He's not a homophobe. He just didn't do it. Although he had gay friends and he'd met gay people and in his time, but just didn't do it. You know what I mean? It wasn't his thing. with the same logic. But will you get anyone saying that? Will you get anyone saying how violent men are with women in Jamaica? Will you get anyone saying how violent and in Jamaica they kill LGBT activists? They kill them. They kill them in Jamaica. And I'm not saying everybody, but this is a broad spectrum. And we've invited these Jamaican guys here. Not so much the Windrush. The Windrush were the ones who really did want to have a new life like my dad. But since then, we've had some horrible Jamaicans come here who've fucking murdered people and practically got away with it. No one says nothing. No one says nothing about violence against women in Jamaica. Honestly, research it up. Go on Twitter and research. Try and find Jamaican women and violence against women on Twitter, and you'll see it. Hundreds of cases. No one will say nothing. Yeah, there's a lot of these men are over here. Honestly, you know, if we can't be honest and truthful about the people who we come from and stuff like that, then there's no point in doing anything. And I'm being absolutely honest and truthful. I'm not lying. I'm not making things up. Jamaicans are very anti-LGBT, and Jamaican men are overrepresented at killing Jamaican women in Jamaica. And a lot of these people have come over here. A lot of them men have come here. Honestly, we just got we're just right in the mix of it. And I mean, don't just go to Jamaicans. We've got Muslims here who treat women second class, who commit honor violence, who are an integral part of the rape gangs, and no one says anything. And I don't want any of these people here, me. You know, like murder in the 1950s, 60s. If someone got murdered, you could have probably easily identified that it would have who it would have, the kind of people it would have been. And in like 1960, when someone got murdered and it weren't anything to do with crime, it was normally in a household. A man murdering a woman or murdering kids, and it happened in a household. But now we don't just have that. We have the kids going out with knives, stabbing everyone, thinking it's cool. We have kids with guns. The violence in our youth now has rocketed. And I can't say, really, it's not so much whitey's fault. It's so much immigration's fault for the kind of people we bring into the country and the kind of values and culture that they have. And, you know, if you disagree with me, if anyone disagrees with me, get on my stream and email me. You lefties out there, if you disagree with me, get on the stream and email me. And we'll sort something out. Honestly, again, anybody is allowed on my stream. Anybody. You can come on if you email me, blah, blah, blah. But nobody in Oldham will come on. None of the independents do any streaming because they're a load of pussies as well. None of the councillors go on streams. None of them will go on streams. I'm an Oldham resident, mate. And I'm going to be getting a council position sooner or later. And nothing's going to stop me. People are going to vote for me. More people are going to vote for me when we start handing out our flyers from all different areas in Oldham. And I'm not just saying this because I know I can do it. It's just that I've got a well-known family, and I'm well-known across a lot of areas in Oldham. I'm not just one who keeps himself to himself. And I've got a lot of friends, so I'm going to get votes. I will get votes, and you know, I want to surpass the amount of votes that UKIP got in Oldham when they did their most successful time, which was something might have been under 10,000 votes, but across the borough in the 20 wards, they got a lot of votes, and I want to do as well as that for my party. But yeah, so you know, you never see anything on Twitter about other countries now. You know, in England, all you whites, you've got to have these, you've got to you've got to accept these people, but the people coming here don't integrate. So how are we gonna have any kind of like good communities. We're not, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Certainly in the past 20 years, it's just unbelievable how it's been thrown in our faces, and we have to accept it. But we don't have to accept it, ladies and gentlemen. We don't. We do not have to accept this. Best thing for us is to start voting, get out there, get someone else elected. Like, let's get someone else elected. Right, I'm just gonna, if you are on Telegram, please join our Telegram page. I've just put the link in the chat. I'm also on DLive, VK, Trovo, Twitter, my 2 Facebook accounts, and YouTube. I'm going to get my VK up now. Or I'm not. It doesn't look like it started. Oh, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I'm on. So yeah, I'm on VK, DLive. I've just put my Telegram link in chat. If people will please join the Telegram group and get it shared as well. I will be putting a website link up in a sec. Let me just get the website up. You can join through our website as well. Join the party. That's the best thing anyone can do right now is join our party. It gives us 20 quid, which we can use towards flyers. We've just received 20,000 recruitment leaflets. I'll just 1 sec. I'll just get one for you. Yeah. So 20,000 recruitment leaflets. Oh, you shit, you can't see it. Fucking green screen rubbish. Sorry, I'll have to get on. It's a little A5, 4 sides, and it goes on about housing and that, but all our details on. We've got 20,000 of them. So I've sent some up to Scotland, and the rest of mine are going out in Oldham, and Pat's got 10,000 for London areas. So that's up and coming. And you can, again, you can, I'll put the website link in the chat. So I've put up our link to Telegram page, our website link. Please go on. Please sign up to the email as well. Please, ladies and gentlemen. It's only an email you're signing up to. And we're not going to be constantly spamming. We haven't sent out any begging emails. We've sent out a Merry Christmas email and stuff like that. Shit, my phone's ringing. 1 sec, guys. 1 sec. Sorry about that, guys. My internet went off, believe it or not. It went right off when I answered my house phone. It went off. Yeah. So yeah, you know, we have to be brutally honest. I've never heard anybody talk about Jamaicans being violent against women in Jamaica, and I see it all the time. Twitter, uh, Facebook. You can Google up about it as well and look at it, and it's dreadful. But no one's ever going to say that. Obviously, every Jamaican who comes here is a one in a million beauty, and you know they don't do anything wrong. But that's just not the case. It's just not the case, and it's not just Jamaicans, Africans. A guy set fire to his block of flats, killing African guy. 2021, Akeem Kigunga deliberately started a fire in a block of flats, Raw Court, Reading, killed two guys and just wanted to kill people. Honestly, you know, like the kind of people we have here, just not compatible with British people. They're not certainly not compatible with the white English and no British people. When I say British, the Indians who were here since the 50s, my dad and the likes of it, they're just not compatible. And we're just inviting murderers, rapists, and everything. And they come and go as they please. As you'll know, Pat was talking about a guy who was a murderer, killed someone, escaped, come back, deported, come back again, you know, and it's all the time and nobody cares. The lefties don't say anything. If you watch videos and that about immigration, everyone comes on. Oh no, these people they never say nothing about crime. They say nothing about culture. They say nothing about child sexual exploitation, rape gangs. They never say nothing about honor violence. They never say nothing about just general the opposite of the cultures. And there's a tweet come up today, and it was about I seen something about Enoch Powell. And the lefties love to call him a racist, but in the 50s, a prominent Indian came over to the UK, and nobody, none of the other politicians or anything would have anything to do with him, and none to just shun this guy. The only guy who stuck by him was Enoch Powell, and Enoch let him stay at his house while he were here. The guy couldn't get an hotel anywhere. No one would let him stay. Didn't have no, and he was a prominent Indian person. Now that's classic racism, if you ask me. Honestly, this is all true. This I don't say things if it isn't true. And you can Google up and look for yourself. I'm not gonna get the link up, but you Google up and look for and read about Enoch Powell, or read about what he said. And he was right because he'd seen this kind of thing in other countries. It was Enoch Powell who was fighting, just Enoch on his own, against all of the British government over a country in Africa where they were killing loads, where they was just running it into the ground. There was only him. There was only Enoch who stood up for that country in Africa. Yeah, he's a racist to the lefties. They just don't know what racism is, these guys. They really don't know what racism is. Sorry. Just me lighting. Oh, I've got a flat nose. Yay! Something's going on. I don't know what's get rid of the green screen thing. It's better. You can see a little bit of green on the background. But anyway, yeah. So, but you know, obviously he was branded with all these words, but no, he was the only one who helped the Indian guy, and he was the only one who stood against the government of what they were doing in Africa, a certain African country. But you know, he's misunderstood and misread, and you know, people who hear his name and they've not researched or done anything into him. I've looked at loads of stuff. I've read his speech. I've read umpteen articles to do with him. I've read a lot of stuff that he's done, not his famous Rivers of Blood speech. He's done a load of other speeches. And I've read all these speeches and gone through them all. And the guy knew what he was talking about, knew what he was talking about. So yeah, just be careful, guys. The British culture's going. No, nothing to do with it. And what's this about? Thank you, Dave 101. That's what I'm going for, mate. That's my first step coming. Bobby, yeah, you're right, Bobby. Honestly, you know, it's just ridiculous. So going forward into the new year, I'm going to try and play it like I did last time. I do a month of going on about a particular subject. So in the new year, January, I'm going to go a month about housing, HMOs, scum landlords, foreign ownership of properties and stuff like that. I'm going to go on about all that in January. Also in January, 12th of January, I've got the PCP girls on, Public Child Protection Wales. So this is a group of girls group of women, mothers, who have running in elections, taking the Wales Parliament to Wales to court, the Welsh government to court over over RSC in schools, and obviously they're activists and stuff like that. And again, anybody who runs in an election gets mega bonus brownie points off me. I don't care who it is. Even if a lefty run in elections, they get brownie points off me. Because if we're going to change things, to me, that is the only way that we're going to change anything. Running elections, get a party, put pressure on other parties to adopt our policies and stuff like that, which aren't far out. They're not far out or anything like that. They're decent. So 12th of January we've set up. Now, they have got an ongoing court case coming up. So they could be in court on the 12th, but we'll see. It's going to be in the evening. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? They're on a big thing today. They're on the girls' child public. They were doing it all day stream. Just looking, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, they're on an all day stream. I'll just put the link in chat. They're on an all day stream. They've had a umpteen guests on throughout the day. I can't believe I forgot about it. I've just been so busy. You just won't believe it. I've just been so busy. Yeah, so I don't like the light. It makes me look white sometimes. It does me head in. I've got a bit of colour in me. That's what I want to have. Yeah, so public child protection. The girls, the Welsh girls are on now. I put the link in the chat. Maybe when you've finished on here, just go over, give it a like. They started streaming 7 hours ago, so it's been all day for them. And they've had umpteen guests on throughout the day. And again, they're taking the Welsh government to court, and they're running elections as well. What's going on here? Weird. That's weird. They did that with Thingy last week. But right, anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please, when you finished here, Public Child Protection Wales, I've put the link in the chat. Go to there, give them a like, please, and a share. And I'll be back soon. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone has a nice time. My words for Christmas is, let's think of other people. Let's think of our elderly neighbours. Let's think of the most vulnerable in our communities. Over the next few days, if I'm going out, I'm going to be getting out. Me, and if I've got time, Christmas Day, I'm going knocking on people's doors, making sure they're all right. I'm just calling in. I might take some chocolates down with me or something, because I'm bound to see some of the kids, and they always talk to me. And some of my other friends, and some of the most vulnerable. So this Christmas, let's think about the vulnerable people in our communities. I'm not particularly vulnerable. My mum is, but I'm not. I can look after myself. So if I can go down, knock on someone's door, say hello to someone, just have a 10-minute chat with them, and I'll feel better in myself. So that's what I'm going to do over the next week or so. I've got leaflets to deliver. If I get a chance to be there Christmas Day, I'm going to be delivering leaflets through people's doors. Simple as. Whatever I can do over Christmas, I need to do. Could do with getting rid of a few thousand of my leaflets, actually. I could really do with doing that in the next couple of weeks. But thank you for tuning in. I know it's a bit, I'm not saying it's a bit distressful, but like I said earlier on about the Ellie case, if that's how we're going to treat people, we might as well just give up now, give our country to the government, and just sit down and do nothing. Because until we can sort out people, we can understand why people are getting into trouble, we can understand this, that, and the other, we're never going to solve anything. It's just going to get worse. Obviously, in the rape gangs, the biggest issue there was white people being politically correct, to me. Nothing to do with any book of Islam or anything. But if we let paedophiles do paedophiling, they're going to carry on paedophiling. And our councils, our government have done nothing for the past 30 years to combat child sexual exploitation, especially rape gangs. Rape gangs have done nothing because of PC too afraid to offend anybody. Well, people's going to get offended. People get offended off me all the time. Tough titties. Tough titties. I mean, I wouldn't have apologized like that Top Gear done for saying hurtful, not hurtful, for saying straight up things about Meghan Markle, Princess Walk. She's a liar. Harry's a liar. They've lied. They both lied, and they've been caught out. Both of them lying scumbags. Oh no, don't say that. Lying people. Honestly, lies, and it's not just little things. What is it? She didn't know how to operate in the Royals. She was given a dossier, and she was talked to by umpteen different people about how to behave, and then she comes on, oh, I didn't know, no one told me. Honestly, you just couldn't believe how woke some people are. So if you're on TikTok as well, I've started putting a bit more videos on TikTok. I wouldn't have joined this platform, but I watched a program today about why TikTok's overtaking all the others, Facebook and everything. They're having to change to keep up with TikTok. TikTok is the ultimate right now in social media. You can do umpteen million things on it. Let me just how do I get me find it? Yeah, you can look. How do I get a link to share? All right, there it is. There it is. Copy link. That's me TikTok account, our party TikTok account. I think I put 10 little videos on yesterday, but I'm going to be doing more. But thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I will try and get somebody on next week if I can. But again, I'm just not sure, because next week I might have some time to myself, and what I'm going to do is go down Hollins delivering my leaflets. That's what I want to do. I'm not really interested in to do anything else. I don't want to go to pub, get drunk. Don't want to go into any parties. I want to get some of my leaflets, a couple of boxes down to Steve's, because he lives in Hollins, and then me and him will probably go out and start posting some recruitment leaflets. So that's what I want to do next week. So can't guarantee I'll be on Thursday, but I will try. Hopefully we'll get Steve Laws on next time I come on. A bit busy today with his kids, but I'll do my best to get Steve on. Certainly, Steve. I don't know. Obviously, 12th of January, I've got the PCP girls coming on, and there'll be other people. I wouldn't mind getting Posey Parker, Kelly J. Keane on, actually, so I might try for that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry if I've been a bit harsh and brutal, but I think it's needed in this day and age. I don't think people care enough for other people, even though they might have done something wrong, but there's got to be reasons why they do these wrong things. People just don't come out and get a knife and go stabbing people for no reason. There's always something behind it. Obviously, there's an anti-British rhetoric at the moment, which is being picked up. We've had all them kids, black kids, rioting in London. We've had them all rioting in Nottingham. And then obviously the Brixton O2 Academy, two people died. The venue was full, and there were 3,000 people outside trying to get in, and 99% of these people are black, and you just put a really bad light on black people. But then again, Nobody says anything. Our media don't say anything because they're politically correct. You won't see any councillors saying anything because they're all politically correct. You won't see Diane Abbott saying anything. We're all politically correct. But if I was 18, got involved in anything like that, my dad would have beat me to a pulp. We weren't allowed to say the nigger word. We weren't allowed to say that. My dad would have heard me saying that. He'd have beat me. He'd have beat me. And he would have been around hearing that grime rubbish. He'd have been so angry. My dad, I know he would. He'd be so angry. But, you know, so all the black rioters in London, Nottingham, that O2 Bristol Academy, listen, you're practically all black people. What you need to do is get a real life and grow up. Because if you're the next lot of people who are going into our society as adults, what's that going to make the rest of the society, and how are things going to change then? Honestly, if I had kids and they were doing stuff like that, I wouldn't be a counsellor. I'd have been locked up for beating my son up. I would have done if he'd have been involved in anything like that. But thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all up soon. God bless to everyone. Have a Merry Christmas, and remember, let's think of those vulnerable people who live on our streets. And, you know, I wouldn't mind some of you going. I'm guessing some of you will be knocking on doors and checking on people, especially the elderly ones. I've got quite a few addresses where I need to go around and knock on and make sure people are okay and that. But thank you very much. Good night. Thank you. God bless everyone. God bless. Oh, yeah, Arlene's right. Kelly J. Keane, Posey Parker's in Glasgow, February. So probably if I can get up to Glasgow, go and see her, and then I'll arrange something there with Posey to get her on my show or something. But very, very on it person. You see her a lot on telly and social media, certainly on GB News. But thank you very much, everyone. Don't forget the 12 stones that are building New Jerusalem with jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardonyx, sardius, chrysolite, beryl, topaz. Oh, I can't see the others. Topaz, chrysoparus, jacinth, and amethyst. The 12 materials we're going to build New Jerusalem with, and they are anisotropic jewels, which means when you put pure light through them, it shines colours like that you see. And the 12 stones that are in the Bible 2,000 years ago are anisotropic jewels, and we've only just found out in the past few 30 years how to make this pure light. So who knew then? God bless. Thank you very much.